Welcome guys to today's video. I'm going to go ahead and review game 3 of a first book of Morphy. Again, this is a new opening rule. So develop with threats. So mostly every move I'm going to try to see if I can get you to focus on the threats, right? If white plays, right, what's the threat for white? What are our opponent's threat? So this is what these games in the following games are going to be focused about. This one is a blindfold simultaneous exhibition, New York, 1857, with Paul Morphy playing Theodore Lichtenhain with the King's Gambit. So let's go ahead and start the game. And I'm going to be reading off the book. Right. So e4, e5, f4. Here it says the pawn sacrifice is meant to gain control of the center, either by deflecting the black's pawn away from the center. So here the black takes, and now white has control of the center, and he's free to play d4, taking control of this square. Or capturing it, right? So that's the threat, taking. White does not yet truly threaten to take on e5. White can play a third move, f to e5, queen h4, queen g3, queen e4, snares a rook. So he doesn't really want to take, right? Again, black can play here. If you take, then queen h4 check, g3, and then queen captures on e4 with check, and also wins the rook because it hits both at the same time. Okay, so e captures f4. Black concedes center control and hopes that white will not justify his pawn sacrifice. So white plays knight f3. Controls the center, develops a piece, and prevents queen h4. Controls the center. Right, this is not part of the center, but develops a piece and prevents queen h4, which is the check for the queen. So this is pretty important. So the knight's doing good. d5. Okay, from black plays d5. Black occupies the center and threatens d captures e4. And prepares to develop his queen bishop. Okay. So then now white plays e captures d5. A good move and answer. White meets black's threat with an aggressive move of his own, capturing black's center pawn. So now black plays bishop e7. This is what was played in the game. Okay, but here the book says there's a better alternative. But it says better was knight f6 with the threat of knight to d5. Okay, knight is developing the knight before the bishop with the threat of knight d5, taking on d5. Taking in the center, queen d5 invites knight c3 where white develops with the threat. So this is a better move because it attacks the pawn, right? So now if white takes with the queen, then now white plays knight c3, hits the queen and gains a tempo, gains a move, because now the queen has to go back. Either the queen goes back to the side, wherever, but now black wastes a move, moving the queen twice, right? And then after that move, then white gets another move and is ready to castle. Okay, so black played bishop e7. White plays bishop b5. Check. Developing a new piece with a threat, and thoughtfully bishop b2 does not control the center. Okay, so yeah, it says bishop b2 does not control the center. 5 bishop d3 blocks the d pawn and stuffs the queen side. Bishop c4 is blocked by the pawn on d5. So bishop c4 is blocked by its own pawn. So white encourages black to help him get out of the way. Okay, so c6. On bishop d7, bishop c4 might leave black in a tangle. His queen cannot develop to c6 or d7, and his queen may no longer capture on d5 if she wanted to. Bishop g4 would probably be the best, and then okay, so let's first see what it's talking about. Bishop g5, bishop d7. Right, so here again let's play the move. right? So now black is blocking his own queen, right? At this point, we don't gotta take. Black is in a bad position because he's blocking his own queen. So now we can go back to here, right? So we go here, and then black would probably fix this problem so that black would play bishop g4, right? And then we have the continuation here. Check. So this is a possible continuation with a sharp game. Okay. So let's go back to c6. D captures c6. Bishop captures c6. And then now bishop c4. A clear diagonal now for the bishop. Black plays bishop h4. Check. g3. The best defense is a counterattack. F captures g3. So now what's black's threat? Threatening g2, right? With the discover check and winning the rook. Okay. So white castles. Again, what does that do? Develops the rook with the threat knight h4. Okay. Queen h4. And because now the knight took and the queen is over here, now the rook is lined up with the bishop. And that's the threat. Bishop captures f7. So it's like this is inside in a few moves, pretty much. So black plays g captures h2 check. King h1. And here it's asking, is the white king safer behind a black pawn, or is he safer behind a white pawn? Again, I think, and here the answer is the black pawn, because black cannot capture its own pawn on h2. So we have bishop f6, knight e5, threatening knight f7. Right, and if bishop takes, we have this threat here, check. Opening the path up for the queen to enter. Let's see. And again, so it's talking about now the queen is free to go use this diagonal. Okay, so it's saying bishop takes. We have queen h5 with the fork, threatening checkmate here and also threatening to take back the bishop. So knight e5, and then we go knight h6, d4, bishop e5, wait, d4, bishop captures e5, okay. Black did not want to risk exposing his king with castles. Bishop h6 or 12b6, b6, f captures e6, okay. He didn't want to play this variation, right? Takes. And then now h6 or 12. I'm not sure if the other variation is here, but a different variation. So now white goes queen h5. Queen captures d4. By clinging to his material gain, black limits white to play in sacrificial style. 13 bishop f6, bishop captures bishop h6. Castling was moderate. Okay. So he's saying that bishop f6, bishop captures h6. Well, let's play the line right here. Here, castling was moderate. Okay. So bishop f7 takes, check. Knight f7, queen captures f7, king d8, bishop g5 check. The biggest threat by the biggest unused piece, yes. Bishop f6, knight c3. Developing a new piece with threat. White plans rook a to d1, pinning. Okay. bishop d7. And then we have bishop d7. Rook captures f6. A powerful capture that threatens discovered check. If g captures f6, bishop f6 wins the queen. Okay, so here takes, and white has to take with the queen, and then now the queen is lost for black. Okay, so king c7, bishop f4 check. The check keeps black on the run and provides the time for white to coordinate his rook and bishop again. King b7, rook d6. The secret to winning chess games is to make a double threat. The rules do not allow the opponent to make 2 moves in a row to meet 2 threats, so one threat can be executed. Right, so it's attacking both pieces. Queen moves, and we just take here with check. Knight takes, queen takes with check, and we won 2 pieces for a rook. So the rook is worth 5 points. The bishop 3, the knight is 3, so we got 6 points for 5 points. That's a better trade, so that's why we go ahead and do that trade. Queen c5, knight e4, another threat to the queen, bringing the pieces forward while threatening moves. Queen c2, queen captures c2. While white is chasing the black king, he must be alert to black's threat of queen e4. Queen captures e4. Okay. Rook captures d7. Knight captures d7. Queen captures d7 check. King a6. Knight d6. Rook h to d8. And then here it says that there's also a winning move if the rook a goes to b8, right? So instead of this move, if white goes here, it shows a variation for a different win. So now we go queen b7, king a5, bishop d2, check, deflecting the black queen from her defense of c4. If king a4, then queen a6 mate. Okay. So queen captures d2, knight c4, king a4, and then b3 is checkmate, right? So there's 2 possible checkmates, right? This is a checkmate, and also b3. Queen b3 or b3 is a checkmate, right? So let's go ahead and recap the game quickly. The king's gambit. So let's see, right? We're going to do 2 recaps quickly. 1, just going without the engine, and then 2, I'll show you with Stockfish, and again, this is on Lead Chess with Stockfish doing the analysis. I think Stockfish showed some mistakes even from White's play. So King's Gambit takes. Here, black moves the bishop twice. Again, better move could probably be just to develop the knight, right? And then castle quickly. Get your king to safety. But here, black's, again, wastes a bishop move, another bishop move. And he's trying to start a quick attack, but again, there's not enough pieces for black. And maybe black just wants to take and destroy the king side to leave the king exposed. But when he does, white, and that's an idea you can use in your games, is if you do have a pawn close to here, you can use that as a shield, right? And that's what happens here in this game. The black king uses a pawn as a shield. So now let's go back. Castles, okay. Queen, okay, takes. Now again, because the knight is barely developed. Now imagine the position where the bishop is here, the knight is here. Now we can bring in the other bishop to counter white's light squared bishop, right? So you see how timing of developing the pieces plays an important role. And then now, again, white could have taken. Again, white could have taken our bishop. Let me go back real quick. White could have taken our bishop. We could have recaptured, but we could have been castled already with our rook lining up here, countering white's rook. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. Queen takes, and this is just because black is, again, doesn't have these pieces developed. They can't really defend the attack from white. And now black again has 4 pieces attacking compared to 2. You can say this one's a defender right now, 3, right? And then after this, takes. So now it's 3 versus 2, right? On the attack. And then black is trying to hurry up and bring probably both of these into the game to do something. Defend a pawn, defend a piece, attack a white piece. But by that point is too late. Okay, so let's go back and then I'll turn on the engine. It's already been ran through the analysis. And then I'll show you the points where Stockfish suggests a better move. So let's see. And again, the point is because when you're attacking, when you want to launch an attack, you have to kind of visualize it and calculate it to make sure that it's successful, that you mate your opponent, that you win a piece, that you destroy his king side, that you end up with something beneficial. Otherwise, if your opponent finds a way to defend it and you sacrifice a piece or you sacrifice a pawn, then you're the one that's going to be down, right? Or if you defend, if your opponent defends and you launch pawns on your king side, then you leave your king exposed. So let's go ahead and go just to those moments. Okay, so here it says from that black has a better position, right? So let's go back. And it's pretty equal, right? So here it says white should develop knight c3 first instead of giving away the knight, right? So now the defense here is that this was an inaccuracy, right? He can go, and I'm gonna play the Stockfish variation, right? This was a way to defend. Queen here, and then the knight attacks the queen. Check, king goes away. Bring the knight in, and then this is the best way to defend. It's still here. It's -4, so it's black is up. Black has a way better position here, right? So here's where the first mistake from white is happening, right? Mistake from white, and then this is a mistake from black, which makes it now equal game. And again, taking, again, black should have just castled, right? Let's go ahead and continue. And here it's suggesting that the bishop takes the knight first. That this is a mistake. Stockfish plays bishop captures h6. So this is what Stockfish would have played. Again, more precise. And then take. Right, so it kind of postpones the capturing of the take the knight first, but then black has to castle, and then at the end, black takes the bishop. Queen h5, Stockfish. Again, we just talked about that. Okay, and then at this point, even here it says black has a better position, and the mistake comes from. So the losing mistake for black is bishop d7. So it's saying that black should have taken. So here's the variation from Stockfish. To defend, takes. Okay, blocking the rook, and then now we put the decoy the queen. Rook takes, bishop takes, check. Okay, and here it gives black a better position, -2. And again, some things you can go over the games. And here, because of black's mistakes, white is up. It says plus 6.5. So at this point, yes, white is just winning. And that's it, guys. Again, there is a lead chess study on this with the games. Some of them have annotations, some don't. Let me know what you guys think. If you want me to cover a different book or something, let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next video.